For the February 2024 month of Spotlights, it's looking like the Corvus Glaive week is the best week as we have 3 Series 5s to follow up, all being pretty powerful, pretty useful. The other weeks have this trend of 1 Series 5, 2 Series 4, which isn't as premium when it comes to Spotlights. You really want to focus on the Series 5 cards. So they are particularly good, and we'll talk about them in detail why they have the tiers they are. But if you're looking for the short end, quick end, generally just leave Corvus Glaive, and then based on what you need, look at the others. It wasn't recording at all. Fantastic. Love that. How you doing, everybody? Today we are going to be talking about the February 2024 spotlights. So we've got 4 weeks of progression for you guys. This one is pretty clear cut since there is a lot of Series 4s in the spotlights, which makes them a little bit worse, but we're going to be going through each week and generally what you should be looking for when it comes to analyzing it and looking at it from progression standpoint. Let's get started. Alright, so February has 4 different weeks. It's back to more the normal 3-4 week schedule here. So same thing, same tiers, S to D. S, A, B is really where I would consider picking them up. And C and D are really more variant focused, and we'll have different reasonings for each one, but we're just gonna get started. So first off, we have the first week. We have the SuperGiant Darkhawk Zabu tier. Now, you may take a look at this and say, oh, why is the first one A tier? Normally, when it comes to these spotlights, I have high priority on Series 5 cards. But you'll notice this month, there's not that many weeks where it's multiple Series 5s. They seem to put a lot of their Series 4s in this particular week. However, Darkhawk and Zabu are a little bit special because I would say they're some of the best Series 4s to have. Now, if you can just get all of these core cards through tokens, you have enough, then be my guest, right? Just pick them up through tokens. I would say that's probably preferred. But if you are missing tokens, I would say that you should still just get Darkhawk Zabu. These cards have been so strong, so good, so core for so long that it's hard to deny. Like, these are just staples of the meta. You're probably going to be playing with these or definitely seeing these in your matches. So even though they are Series 4 cards, they're good enough that I would say if you really need to get Darkhawk and you don't have tokens and this is your only way to get Darkhawk or Zabu, definitely get Darkhawk and Zabu. So I would say if you're missing, especially both, they're definitely good enough to pick up. In terms of Supergiant herself, I'm not a big fan of this card. I don't really see her being that good. I could definitely be wrong here. She's a tech card in essence, so it's sometimes hard to predict how good they're going to be, but my initial impression is it's not going to be as good. So you're definitely going to have to weigh her value in regards for it. But when it looks to the spotlight, it's really just a Darkhawk Zabu show. And if you are missing that and you can't get them through tokens, then feel free to get to the spotlights. Next up, we have Cull, Obsidian, Nimrod, Thanos. I would say this particular spotlight is being absolutely carried by Thanos himself. There isn't really a big drive to get the other 2 cards. Nimrod isn't that good or consistent. There's other ways to play destroy things in particular where Nimrod isn't really necessary for that, but it's a fun card if you want to do that. And then Cull Obsidian could be better. It's, in my opinion, a boring card. Doesn't mean it's a bad card. It does have scar value, which is significantly better, and it works with Zabu and things like that. So I do think Cull Obsidian is definitely more interesting, but is it something I would really jump for tokens or for spotlights for? No, especially since Cull Obsidian is Series 4, I believe. So you do have 2 Series 4s once again, with the spotlight being Thanos. If you don't have Thanos, Thanos is it's just a card with a lot of good upside. It has a lot of, it consistently has created like problematic metas where it's the key piece in a problematic card. So wouldn't be surprised to see more metas coming out where Thanos is a problem. So just a card you want to at least have as an option, have as a particular deck to play. So if you're missing Thanos, this is pretty much the spotlight to get Thanos through. And then in terms of the other cards, you know, Culture and Nimrod, not really worth digging through the spotlight for. They're series 4, so you can get them the tokens if you need to. So that's kind of the prerogative for this week. It's just, do you want Thanos? Now, next week is my favorite week. It is the one I would be really looking forward to. This is the S tier week here, where you have Corvus, Glaive, Gladiator, and X-23. Gladiator used to be Stature, but Stature got dropped down to Series 3, so now most people can just get that way, so there's no real need to have Stature in here. But Gladiator is definitely, I think, a really good replacement for that card. So here we have 3 Series 5s. That's always a good sign. And then these are Series 5 cards that are all playable. Corvus Glade's looking to be very strong. It's a 3/5 instead of a 3/4 in the data mine, so it got an extra buff, which is very meaningful. Kind of Lady Sif stat line, but now gives you ramp tools as well. Like, kind of crazy to me. And then Gather has actually shown up to be a pretty powerful tech card and also a pretty powerful tempo card. 3/8 stat line is really quite high, and also being able to either pull cards that you know they don't have in their deck left, or being able to pull a big card that you can follow up with Shang-Chi, things like that, has also proven to be pretty good. So this card is also, I would say, quite playable in the meta. And in X-23, we've seen very recently that Destroy has been a problem for Second Dinner, and they want to adjust it. I don't necessarily agree, but it is something they have an eye out. So X-23 is one of the more core Destroy tools. So if you like to play Destroy and you like that type of archetype, X-23 is just something you want to be having. It's really unlocks Destroy and really makes it pop. So all these are 3 pretty good cards, I would say. So it's kind of a no-brainer if you're missing all 3, even if you're missing, you know, the new card and one of the others. This is definitely the spotlight to look out for if you are wanting the most value, the most progression. Definitely the thumbs up for me. When it comes to Corvus Glaive himself, the one drawback, right, is that in traditional discard, you're not really using the ramp, but I just think it's good enough stats that you're going to find decks that you can use this in. So wouldn't be surprised that people find good Corvus Glaive decks once it comes out. So not pretty high on the card itself, and it's a very fun deck building card. So fun factor is also pretty high. So definitely a card I'm interested to seeing. But yeah, this is the spotlight to look out for through this month, and the others are more kind of filler if you're missing a card or you need, you know, Darkhawk or Thanos deck, things like that. And then the last one for this month is the Proxima Midnight, MODOK, and Dakin week. So if you are getting Corvus Glaive, you might also be encouraged to get Proxima Midnight as well. And I think that's a good idea. They work really well together and makes them have a ton of tempo. So there is kind of a caveat. Like, I would recommend getting Proxima if you're also getting Corvus, though, you know, when it looks to the spotlight itself, this isn't the best spotlight. Dakin honestly isn't really played that much these days. You can play Dakin in both Destroy and Discard, but people aren't really playing it in either. There are other alternatives to playing Dakin that also seem to do pretty well, or at least better in stats. So it is a card that can do a lot and has unique properties, but isn't necessary for any core build. You don't really need to. It's not like X-23 where you need X-23 sometimes to build a proper Destroy. You don't really need Dakin to build a proper Destroy, things like that. MODOK, though, however, is one of those core cards. That's why I value MODOK a little bit higher than Dakin, where if you're missing MODOK, that would be a B tier, where Dakin C. Because MODOK you actually need in a lot of discard pieces. What am I saying? Right? Either hella discard or regular traditional discard, or even just any kind of unique discards that might pop up with Corvus. Corvus giving you ramp means that you could do something like Corvus into Modok, follow up into like maybe Helicarrier combo, right, with the Modok. And you have Meek and some of the other cards that can really take advantage of it. So I think if you are picking this up, right, it's probably you're missing Modok and you want Proxima Midnight, things like that. That would be kind of my traditional look at it, where you want it, or you just want to get Proxima Midnight and you don't mind paying like a little bit extra since it combos really well with Corvus. But in general, this isn't particularly the strongest week. The big weakness of this particular month of Spotlights is that you have one Series 5 followed with two Series 4s, right? The only exception is the Corvus Glaive week, which you have triple Series 3, which is fantastic. But the other 3 weeks is one Series 5, two Series 4, one Series 5, two Series 4, one Series 5, two Series 4. So this isn't really the strongest Spotlight type weeks. You really are looking for tons and tons of Series 5s, right? Because those are a little bit more expensive to get, and you're not paying like 3,000 per token, right, compared to 6,000. So yeah, those are the spotlights for this week. It's a little bit less than last week, which is, I think, better because we're having the new standard of having a new card every single week, even with the first week of the season. So those can get expensive, right? Those are more new cards to consider, so you have to be careful with your resources, right? That's an extra week potentially where you have to consider using your spotlight. So for this one, I would say it's pretty clear cut. Get Corvus Glaive week, and then based on the others, either just spend tokens for the others, or if you want like Proxima Midnight, then you might have to like spend a little bit extra that particular week. But other than that, that's what we got here. Pretty quick, pretty clean. Makes a lot of sense to me. Hope you guys are enjoying the new season. A lot of strong cards, right? A lot of people are talking about Black Swan being strong and OP or things like that. I don't really think she's OP. I do think she's good though, so definitely be an interesting type of new first week to see the new season cards and how it shapes up. But other than that, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.
Educated calling snap. Once you watch him, you won't go back. He'll teach you tomorrow, snap. Your skills will be